never have.
You're lucky you're here at Morton's invitation, brother, or you would not get out of Harlem today.
Oh, I'm freaking in my
You're gonna need, you see all those cops? You see all those police outside? They'll get you out of here.
Yeah, when you can rap here. That's your doing.
They'll get you out of here today. Because if it wasn't for all those cops outside, you would not go home today.
Big guy. Why don't you join the Crips?
Let me tell you.
Why don't you join the Crips, a gang? That's your mentality.
Scum like this. What's the gentleman's name?
Wait a second.
Roy Ennis ran away from this man at the Hilton Hotel just about a month ago.
If Ennis ran away from him, it's because he didn't want to kill him.
I tell you what. Ennis had 7 or 8 people with him, and he ran.
Scum like this does nothing. Scum like this.
You're the scum.
Scum like this sets no fear.
You use that.
Scum like this put no fear. Shut up, you're rude also.
Make me.
Scum like this. Scum like this puts no fear in the hearts of blacks because we've struggled all of our lives.
I see we've
But what
culturized
the
the show.
scum like this does, it makes it difficult for the hard, honest white person in America who does not visualize things the way you do. That's who you make it difficult for. Because then you allow...
Let me introduce Rabbi Rosenberg. Rabbi, you've...
Pearls of wisdom.
Every truth got to be culturized down.
Pearl comes from 1 grain of sand, sir. What do you come from? 1 piece of...
I don't use that terminology. Actually, I'm a nice guy once you get to know me.
Let me go to Rabbi Rosenberg. Incidentally, his synagogue was recently desecrated. Rabbi, I don't know if it was by people like this or who.
Well, you know, Stonewall and I have been involved in many, many humanitarian acts over many, many years, and we're very close friends. As far as any attack you have on the Jewish people, I'm happy to tell you that we now have Jewish power. We're not afraid of any of you.
Are you leading the Jewish Defense League now?
One more time.
Leading the Jewish Defense League against anybody that attacks Israel? Is that your thing, Rabbi?
I tell you what I would like to do. Jewish Defense League, don't you, sir?
Yeah, we smashed them in L.A. We beat the living hell out of them.
You walked down the street
and your leader, Reuben, ran out the door.
Out of you, didn't they? Didn't they?
Okay.
I say, you walked down the street in San Francisco shortly after doing my show, and they beat the out of you, didn't they?
Hey, we had a big white pride march in San Francisco.
We did march in San Francisco. I tell you what, how come the state of Israel is allied with South Africa if you love the blacks so much?
You know what I'd like to do?
If you love the blacks so much, what about being allied with South Africa?
You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to call upon a dear gentleman and a dear friend of mine who you just attacked, Roy Ennis, for the two of us to start a national coalition against all these people and to have blacks and Jews on a national level coincide against hate mongers such as yourself.
I never attacked Roy Ennis, you. What are you talking
You
about?
can't even speak correctly.
Do you admit that your friends in Israel allied with South Africa? What do you tell black people about that?
All right, well, let's hear how do you handle that.
Let's see how we handle it. Also, there are African countries, black African countries, who are purchasing arms from South Africa. So some of our dealings are purely financial and not all racial.
Why are you running gun for this man over here? He's robbing the blacks and the whites, too.
I'll be happy to answer his question.
Blacks for black pride. That's what I believe in. Blacks determination.
This is so typical of the media and of these types of people, all right? Try and get the blacks and the whites going at each other. Eliminate all the other issues. This is the bullshit we've had to put up with for 40 years of liberal rule in this country, and you're part of the problem. We're going to be back. We'll talk about the next generation of hate, the Aryan youth. Join us. You know, the thing we have to watch out for is we have to watch out for this type of thinking permeating the youth, all right? And that's exactly what Tom's doing. You're not just satisfied with middle-aged bigotry and stupidity and hatred. You're teaching the young to hate with the Aryan youth movement. How do you justify that? I mean, can you?
That's subjective.
Your own kid.
You call it hatred, I call it love. We're getting the youth, white youth of America. We love our race, and we love it enough that we're willing to die for it if we need to. That's what we're doing across this country. This summer we'll have a national coalition meeting. The Euro-Caucasian provisional government in this country, the war started in 1984 when Robert J. Matthews and the Order declared war on the system in Washington, and we support that declaration of war today. We're not here to convince necessarily anybody, because what's going to happen is going to happen.
How many members do you have?
And these people better get out of the way.
How many members do you have? How many members?
Thousands of them all across the country.
Thousands.
Of the right kind.
Right kind. And you think thousands of wimps like you two guys are going to crush us? Huh?
If you know the pressure points, if you know the pressure points, the thousands can do it.
Let me go back to Carl a second. Carl, the last time you were here, you said you train kids in deadly force.
That's right.
Who do you want them to kill?
Huh? No, I just want to protect ourselves. We don't fight unless we're attacked first. We've been attacked many times in the streets.
Was that kid who
We've been attacked many times in the streets.
Okay, was that kid who tried to get out of your organization, who was found nailed to a board, was that not attacking? You didn't do that, right?
No, of course not.
You guys didn't nail a member of yours who tried to get out.
That was Greg Withrow. I didn't attack him. I never attacked Greg Withrow. You did not crucify him and nail him to a board. But he lied on me on the Phil Donahue show.
He lied about you.
Oh, he sure did, yeah.
They protect white youth, they protect white womanhood, and they protect white people who want to be protected. And if anybody goes against them on the street, they're going to get smashed.
But isn't this the gentleman that had his philosophy smashed in California? Mort.
Well,
Mort, isn't this the same gentleman that had his philosophy shoved up his rear end in California on the street?
Yeah.
Well, you're just showing your ignorance.
Rabbi, I want the rabbi to answer a question, because a question was asked by one of these gentlemen. What about Israel's alliance with South Africa? How do you explain that? Let me hear it. Let's not waffle out of questions here.
I'm not here to defend that, but I'll tell you one thing.
Why not?
Give me a why.
I'll tell you why. Because we have apartheid here in America. Let's clean up the problems here first.
Well, you people.
And the other thing I better warn you all about. If people like this...
You're a Jewish Nazi is all you are.
Well, you're an idiot. But people like you try to divide blacks and Jews. And I'll tell you something. No one's afraid of you. You guys are silly. You're a bunch of idiots. And we can defend ourselves against you any day.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you can. Go out and attack anybody that disagrees with Israel. That's all you've ever done. You and it. How's your buddy Mordecai Levy doing?
I think all of you would like to believe. See, people like you who spread hatred would like for blacks in this audience and across America to feel that all Jews are in agreement with South African policy.
You should listen to Louis Farrakhan. Louis Farrakhan's a good black leader. He told you the same thing.
That's just as wrong.
I was there. I was at his rally in L.A.
That's just as wrong as your position. If we wanted to be fair about the dealings in South Africa, then we as blacks should also address the black countries who are purchasing arms from South Africa.
What do you think? Let me ask you something. What do you think of what Louis Farrakhan said about the Jews?
Which black country? Which black country?
The warring country, the last country, it eludes me right now.
Do you believe Jewry is
I want to answer a question about Louis Farrakhan.
He wants to answer your question about Farrakhan. Let me hear
Louis Farrakhan is Hitler revisited. And the same thing that happened to Hitler should happen to him. He should commit
Hitler
suicide.
created a lot of great jobs for the German people. He brought the German economy up.
And so Farrakhan.
That's right.
Leave Farrakhan alone.
Then we should, exactly.
Farrakhan joined Hitler in a bunker and he should be dead. We Jews and we blacks should
bring your hatred out, Jew. Bring your hatred out, Jew.
We Jews and we blacks, we Jews. Speak for yourself.
This is the enemy of free speech and social justice. This one right here.
They play both sides of the street.
I want to get from Carl and from Tom. I want to get something straight from you guys, all right? I really want to try to understand your twisted minds, guys. Give me a short list of your heroes and your favorites in American history. A short list.
Charles Lindbergh, Jr., who said our bond with Europe is a bond of race. If the white race is ever attacked, we should go to its defense with every plane in the sky and every ship in the sea. That was Charles Lindbergh.
All right, who's your other heroes?
Well, we have William Jennings Bryan, Eugene Debs of the great white labor movement in this country.
Hitler, he's your main hero.
Hitler did a lot of good for a lot of people. And you Jews, if you got a hold of that, you'd have run that too.
And he was just like you.
See?
Who's your hero?
Let me hear from Carl who some of your heroes are. Who are some of your heroes?
Some of my heroes are people like Frank Silva, David Tate, Robert J. Matthews, the people of the order. Those were my heroes.
Right on.
Sir, let me here's the gentleman.
Yeah, and Adolf Hitler.
Adolf Hitler's a hero of yours?
Yeah.
Adolf Hitler's a hero of yours?
I think that's what I said, yeah.
You have no idea how many whites he killed too, do you?
There were people, all people were killed. But they only cry for the Jews. They built big monuments to the Jews. You'd think they were the only people that ever got killed.
More, we cry for the Christians and for the Jews.
Oh, I never heard you cry for the Christians once.
70 million.
I have always
6 million.
on behalf of Christians who perished also. There were many Christians who gave their lives on behalf of Jews. There's people like you who want all of humanity dead.
I want you out of this country. You're a parasite.
Let me hear from this gentleman. This gentleman's name is Rabbi Zip it, Carl. Let me ask this gentleman. I think your name is Saeed Saladin.
Saeed Saladin is my name. First thing I want to do is welcome you to Harlem, Morton Downey, and I want everybody to get a round of applause for the Inner City Broadcasting Company for renovating this Apollo Theater.
All right, go ahead.
Right, it's Apollo. And in the Apollo Theater, if you half-step and you get booed, whether you're a famous movie star or a chump. So I just want to say, but let me warn everybody in this audience about one thing especially. In the South, where the white man tell you how he feels, and he's honest with you, and he lets you know where you're standing at, you seem to prosper. If you go down South, black folk own land. More black colleges are in the South than there is in the North. More black people own land in the South than they do in the North. In the North, they claim to be integration, and they love black people, but they talk one thing out their mouth, and they got another thing in their heart. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about, hold on. I'm talking about down South white folk. I was shocked to go down South, and I lived in Arizona. I've been in Oklahoma, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. I never received respect from white folk until I went down South. I never met a more warm people till I went down South. And the trick is played up here in the North, where you got a lion cracker who speak one thing and say another thing. Look at the schools, look at the dope. Ain't no dope flourishing in the South. So what I'm telling you, I don't agree. I do not agree 100% with what the white supremacists are saying, but I'm going to listen to them because I know a lot of white folks think like them. I know they have an impact. That's all I mean.
We're going to continue to be a nation of all people, or we're going to be uniting by separating. Let's find out when we come back in the next segment. Let me come, please, to George again, if you don't mind. George Holmes, when we talk about people getting along with each other, it brings up immigration, all right? You're familiar with that. Is our virtual open border policy helping or hurting all of the Americans who live here now?
Well, Mort, it can do anything but hurt. It's got to help. This country was founded on people coming from all over the world, from Africa, from the Caribbean, from Europe, from Asia, and they came together.
They came together in slave ships, baby.
They came together. They came different ways, but we got to understand something. This country was built on the backbones of the immigrant. We've got to allow those people who want to come to this country, who want to build, and we've got to allow them to come in, and we've got to give them the status they need to succeed here.
Let me ask you a question, Carl. That's all well and good. We have an open border so that Mexico can pour across. We have an open border so San Salvador, so all of these Hispanic nations can come across. And I think that's great that we all live together. How about opening them up so my Irish can come across, all right? This is 275,000. 275,000 illegal Irish in this country, and they want to boot their ass out. I want them here, too.
Well, Mort, that's a misconception. That's a misconception because the fact is that the borders are open for Europeans to come in whenever they want. It's the Africans and the Caribbeans who are having problems coming in. That's where immigration needs to open up its borders to our brothers and sisters from Africa, from the Caribbean, and from the third world countries. That's the immigration policy that this country needs to develop.
All right?
Let
me hear from Tom. Let me hear from Tom.
Look, the first ones that get hurt are the blacks with immigration. Are you kidding? We come from California. The Mexicans swarm across the border.
I don't need you supporting anything I say or do, all right?
Let me tell you something.
Don't try to whitewash, and I use that word very specifically, what you're saying, because I'm not afraid of you. I know where you're coming from. You I can deal with. You I can deal with because I know where you're coming from. It's the folks who hide in the closet, the ones that we got to worry about. You I can deal with. I'm not afraid of you. I can walk down the street with you any day, and I'm not afraid of you because if you step on my toe, you're going to hit the pavement. That's the bottom line. It's the other folks that I'm worried about. And it's the people who set the policies in this country I'm worried about. You don't set...
Man.
Let me hear from Stonewall.
I'd like to address the gentleman there. I'd like to address your statement. You said before that blacks in the South are achieving, and I agree with you. That's one of the problems with the Northern black, and a lot of that is within us. We have not brought that from the South here. Once we came to the North, we seem to have forgotten that what we need is not to wait for whites to do something for us, but to do something for ourselves. We tend to want to lose ourselves in an integrative structure or to be accepted under unequal levels. We would want low-income housing in middle-class neighborhoods on an unequal basis to have our heads rubbed. We forget that we need entrepreneurship, political upper mobility and economic upper mobility. And forget about that nonsense that you are not...
And one other thing. And Stonewall. And one other thing.
Like this, we know...
Don't let him call me that big shot gobbledygook.
Our biggest fear in the North...
I'll tell you the gobbledygook. I'll tell you the gobbledygook. You worry too much. You worry too much about guys like this, me, or anyone else, telling the black community who their leaders should be. Let them pick them themselves.
I'm just talking about the same people who are screwing up.
There's some like this we don't worry about, but the ultra-liberals we should worry about, because those are the ones that are misleading us.
Tom, I guess what it really boils down to.
This is what I'm right here.
I guess what it really boils down to.
I'm just giving you guys a free tip on if you listen.
That's what guys like this have always given. They've always given the black community a free tip. You know what's free, baby? Ain't nothing free, except his mouth, all right? Our audience is going to speak next, so watch out, boys. Stand by. All right, I promise this gentleman, he was first up to bat. Loudmouth 1, sir, your name.
Okay. I just want to make it clear
Let
that
me have the microphone on down here, please.
I just want to make it clear that I have nothing to do with this gentleman over here, for the audience, firstly. Secondly, the rabbi has continually skated on a question from the audience, and I'd like to present the question for the brother that asked the question. In terms of Israel, they have given a lot of support to South Africa in terms of arms and shipments, et cetera, et cetera. You have not addressed that question as to why Israel is doing that. Secondly, I heard you make a statement that you cried for the Jews and for the Christians. How about all the black people who are still dying in South Africa? What is your comment? Thank you.
Rabbi?
I think the question was a very good one. I don't represent the state of Israel. I can't answer for the state of Israel. What I can answer for...
Do you approve of their trade with South Africa?
I don't approve of any situation where humanity is made any less than being human. That's my personal feeling.
Semantics.
As far as why we don't cry or do cry out for our black brethren, I'll tell you something. You don't need me to cry out for you. You have leaders who can take care of yourselves very well. You don't need me. Second of all, any humanitarian worth his salt will speak on behalf of blacks, on behalf of Jews, on behalf of Orientals, on behalf of all humanity. Because when Hitler goes after someone, such as these people, they go after the entire human race and try to destroy anyone. When he was playing the fiddle, it reminded me of the concentration camps, when they marched Jews and non-Jews to the crematorium, and they played the fiddle. We have to unite together on behalf of humanity.
Do you? I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to tell you shock troops. Zip it.
You want shock troops.
I'm going to ask the question one more time. Are you upset with the fact that Israel trades with an apartheid, suppressive nation like South Africa? Yes or no?
I personally am upset.
Or no?
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, sir.
Does your synagogue support Israel?
Go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry? What are you going to do about it? What have I done about it? I spent my entire career on behalf of peace and humanity. That's what I'm going to do about it. That's why I am in shows like this. That's why I work with Stonewall. That's why I go against idiots like this. Because humanity
finances Israel.
I will say the rabbi has stood
I want
up.
to ask you a question. I want you two aliens to ask me, what do you think we're going to be doing as the human race as you come around spreading your racist propaganda? What do you think we're going to be doing to defend ourselves? You're going to kill us, kill our babies,
We want to be separate.
kill our babies, etc., etc.
We got a white civil war going on. It's between whites. Blacks have
Civil
nothing to do
War
with
for 400 years, we still fight.
We
We're
got
talking
a
about a white civil war.
against the
Since
elite
when?
in this country.
Since when?
That's what it is. Elite against the elite and the Jews.
Oh, that's the elite and the Jews. Where were you 60 ago? You were hanging us like rabbits.
European non-Semite people, that's white.
I understand that. You say Greek people aren't white?
Look, come to the table if you want to eat. We'll sit down and discuss it on a national level.
Yeah, when I want to eat food, I don't want my food poisoned, if you understand what I'm
Come
saying.
to the table, you won't be able to eat. I've been offered. I've offered.
These are the same type of people that want you all dead.
Yeah.
These are the
Let me say something.
And let me tell you something, Carl.
All right.
I went the day before yesterday to a rally that was supposed to be held. The media blurted it out all over the place of the Ku Klux Klan in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. There were 15 jerks in starched white sheets, all right, who probably had nothing but wet dreams in those starched white sheets. And there were 200 people from the media who were able to get other people down there to watch. I went down there, spit in the guy's face, and every white and black person there left and left that scum alone with the media. And you're the type of scum, you're the type of scum.
Came across to get in. There are a whole bunch of white people broke through the lines to join.
Let me hear you.
I don't have a sheet.
Let me have it.
I was going to say, I have never hung a black. I would not go out and poison their food. It's not my fault what happened 100 years ago. I'm talking about right now. I don't know what happened 100 years ago.
It's happening right now, pal.
No, we're not out hanging black.
Let me hear you. Let me hear you. You zip. This is the audience. You zip.
Thank you, Morton. Thank you. My name is Paul Miro, and I just want to say one thing to this man right here. You said white media, fella, look around. You with the wig, with the rug. You, all right? You had...
I bought that.
You had the nerve to tell Morton Downey, white media, hey, fella, look around, buddy. We got multicolor here, all right? That's number one. And you dirty son of a bitch, all right? Let me tell you something, all right? Let me tell you something.
brave on
How
TV.
come down south you wear the sheets, man? Up in Harlem, you don't. And I, for one, feel offended with the flag on your jacket with the KKK abides by, and I want it off. Take the flag off. You're in Harlem, buddy. Take it off. That is the KKK flag.
I'm not going to take it off.
Take it off, man. You're in Harlem, buddy.
That's right.
Give
I go
us
anywhere
that
I want
one
to go.
respect.
I
Take
have to
the
listen to
flag off, buddy.
No, I go
All
right
right,
here.
because you ain't got the sheets, buddy, but your colors are showing.
I don't wear the sheets.
Come back to
I'm
the
not in the
audience
Klan.
again. Stay with us. Back. Come on.
Carl, you're a really sick
Yes.
man. You're a sick man. It's people like you and your movement that are instilling vicious and heinous ideas into today's
Coming
youth.
from you, I'll accept
And
that
you're
as a
a sick
compliment.
man. You are vermin.
Oh, you don't.
You are vermin. I'm a Jew and I'm proud of it. And it's vicious people like you that are giving the Jewish race and the blacks a bad name.
Hey, you
and
brought
you
it
should
on
be
yourself,
shot.
and it's
You
coming
should
home
be
to roost
shot.
to you.
You
It's
deserve
coming
to be
home
shot.
to roost.
Put out here
You
in
brought it
misery.
on yourself, and it's coming home to roost.
Oh, yeah? You Nazi bastard. You should be shot.
Well, you tell me
deserve
what
to
you
be
want.
Shot.
You tell me what you want.
6 million Jews died in World War II,
You're the
you
face of Jew we
bastard.
like to see. You're the
You
face of Jew we
bastard.
like to see.
Wait a minute.
You're
wait.
typical of your race.
No, wait, I'm not Jewish. What makes you better than anybody else? Who
I'm not saying I'm
appointed
better than
you
anybody else.
supreme?
I'm just
I
one
wanna know
separation.
where it's
That's
written.
all.
It says all men are created equal. Wait a minute.
You're against freedom of speech.
Wait a minute. All men are created equal. Are those men only those who fit into your mold?
I'm not talking about
Okay?
equal or not. I'm talking about separation for the survival of the black and the white race.
Oh, man. You're vermin. You are
Don't you want to
vermin.
survive?
You should be shot.
Let me hear this
If I
gentleman.
get it there,
Let me hear this gentleman. Sir, you step up there.
Directed to you, scumbag, and this lizard face. I want to know why you said y'all in war fighting when we, the brothers, is down in the front lines getting killed. In Vietnam, huh, bitch? And this mother, yeah, I would like to kick his ass. Right now. You ready?
Let me go up to the balcony. Up to the balcony. Up to the balcony. Go ahead, sir. Sit. I want to go up here.
You're a very fortunate black person.
Yeah, I've been around. I've been in war.
You're very fortunate.
What
You know
about,
what I'm saying? You ain't got nothing.
You ever seen
Rabbi,
Let me hear this gentleman.
I'd like to know, what about Jewish racism in Borough Park, where the Jewish kids spit on the Gentiles and say goy, and you want to buy a house, and the guy from Israel said to real estate woman, I'll kill you. And the chief rabbi of Lubavitch's in his Hanukkah message in the paper says, love of your fellow Jew is one of the most important things, but nothing about love of your fellow person. We should love everybody, not just Jews loving Jews only.
Man, what we got to understand. Hey, pal. Hey, you got to listen and understand. All Jews aren't great. All whites aren't great. All blacks aren't great.
That's right.
None of us are all great. There's a bunch of kiss asses out there. Don't worry about that.
You're right.
Worry about the masses. On our next show, Civic, you shut up. You shut up. Talk about Vietnam. You just shut up. You got nothing. You get the next show to say something. We've got on our next show tomorrow night, also from the Apollo Theater, we have coming up a solution to racial problems. Listen to this. Separatism. Tomorrow night from the Apollo, we'll have Robert Brock. Would you step forward, Robert? Who is a black separatist. And we'll have Daniel Johnson, who is a white separatist. And looking at these gentlemen, I can damn well understand why they want to be separate. All right? Look, pal, it's very simple. There's no place in this world for people who hate, particularly people who have no other reason other than the color of someone's skin. I hope we've exposed some of these jerks. He swept everything under that rug. All right? Now, Let's get them the hell out of the building. Give them a 10-second head start down 125th Street. Good night, everybody.